Jonas, Travis, and Wes, we are all here today. Aaron, I just gave the controls over to Aaron, so he's getting some things set up. He's got some really good information set up for you. As always, actually, we're going to try something a little bit different here on the honor system and see if everybody can play nicely. We're going to unmute everybody with the understanding that if you don't have a question, you'll individually mute yourself. See if we can get ourselves a little bit more interactive there. Hirschman, Schuler, we don't have you guys using the PIN code Stan Dean as well, so you're not able to be unmuted at this point. If you want to enter in that 2-digit PIN code, we can take care of that again. We will ask you to individually mute yourself so as to not have a lot of ice rattling, teacup twirling, that sort of thing, or teapot boiling, et cetera, type stuff. So I do reserve the right to mute everybody if necessary. With that said, Aaron, I want to turn it over to you and let you fire it up.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm glad you didn't mute me. Hard to believe it's
early.
June. I think looking at this presentation. My screen, is it showing okay?
Yeah, showing good. Your sound level is good, too.
Okay, great. So we've got a few things to cover today. As always, I want to take a few minutes and just check in on what we talked about last month. And then we have a pretty neat update coming to the platform I want to show you. And then kind of the main feature today is talking about adding a document center to your website, which is a really nice way to provide some additional policyholder support and keep people coming to your website and learning about your products after they've bought that first product. So it's a nice way to help keep people engaged and cross-sell. And the last thing is, of course, we'll open up the floor and really just talk about what you want to talk about. So first things first, local search optimization. We talked about this last month. We went over the process of how you get your site ranking better for local search, which is really kind of nice way to cut through the competition and drive traffic from people who are in your market. And I talked about some tips we can go through. And then we also sent out a guide that walks you through step-by-step to do this. And so just kind of, I guess, a show of hands first off, could you click on the hand icon, raise your hand, if you did any of this local search stuff that we talked about in the past month? Just raise your hand.
Put everybody back down, so start over again and raise your hand if you did.
Let's do it again. Go ahead and click on the hand icon if in the last month you've taken a look at these instructions and tried to put any of it in place. Michael, what do we see?
Jeff Olson did.
Okay.
And Mr. Tate did as well. Jeff Olson and Dwayne Tate. So
okay.
They're both unmuted. If you want to talk to them, go ahead.
Okay, Dwayne, let's start with you. Can you tell us what you did and how it's going?
Well, you know, my secretary is actually the one who is doing this for me, and I know that she's doing very well, but I couldn't answer the question for you.
Okay.
Just following the steps. I didn't feel very good about it.
Perfect. Perfect. I love it. It's just happening. Of course, if she has any questions, she's welcome to reach out to us. We'd be happy to make it all happen. How about you, Jeff?
Well, my secretary as well, Aaron, helped me out. That would be you. So I you know, after our conversation, I got some stuff uploaded and got that all kind of familiarized. Kind of waiting process for some of them had to send codes and things like that we needed to interact with everything. And so now it should be up and going. It took a little longer than I thought. I talked to Travis a couple days ago, and we did put a link on my website with Yelp as far as for reviews. So now we just kind of wait, and the ball's in my court now to get my clients to go there and give some reviews, and we'll see what happens from there. But the guide that you did send out was very helpful.
Okay, good. Were you able to get your Google profile claimed as well?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. I think Google has to verify your mailing address also. So good stuff. Yeah, you know, I think Jeff's point is good, which is that myself and Jonas and Travis and Wes and even Mike, are available to help you all. So those of you that haven't done this, if you're not doing it for some reason, maybe it's you have a question or you're not quite sure how to proceed or where to start, you've got some resources here. We've got a whole team here to help you, and we do this stuff because we want to see you be successful with your website, your online marketing, and sell more insurance. Local search is, it takes a little bit of time, as Jeff pointed out. There's some waiting you have to do to get your site verified, but it's a really easy win. That once you put these things in place, this is a really quick way for you to raise your site's visibility, get some new traffic, and hopefully, of course, get some new prospects and make some sales. So I recommend for the rest of you whose hands did not go up, please go back through the guide that we sent out. Go and watch the recording from last month's webinar if you haven't already seen it, or if you just want a refresher, and take the time to do this. It's going to help you. It's going to help you make money. So anybody want to ask anything else or say anything else about local search before we go on? Okay, I'll take it as a no. So the next thing I have to talk about is we have a design update coming to the control panel. And we've gotten some feedback on what's working, what's not, what's easy, what's hard. And we've gone back to the drawing board, and we've completely overhauled the control panel that you use to manage your website. And this is going to go live very soon. We do have what we call a live staging environment set up, and I'll send a link out to it to you all today. And this will give you a chance to go in and play with this new user interface, this new design. And you can manage your site. You can do everything you can do in the current interface in the new one, just to kind of see how it works before we take it live. But I wanted to show it to you and talk to you about a couple kind of the neat things that we have going on. Excuse me. So this is the Manage Site page, Manage Your Site pages, which is kind of the heart of the system. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. And this page is probably where the biggest change is. You can see overall the colors are a little bit different. I think just the kind of the fit and finish of the design is a lot tighter. It's a lot cleaner. But this page we completely overhauled. And if you remember, it used to be the website sections were across the top of the page. And we've moved them over to the left. And the reason why is because they were getting to be to the point where it was too long and it started to wrap and it just kind of wasn't clear. And so what you can do now, actually, you know what, let me just, I can click through and I'll log into the new interface. This is it on our staging server. And so I'm going to go back to that Manage Site Pages screen. And you'll see a couple things. The first of which is these are the sections of the site. So if I want to go in, for example, and edit my long-term care section, I can do that. The pages now show up here on the left. So if I wanted to edit a page, I can just hover over it and click on Edit Page, and that will open it up in the editor. The editor itself will look pretty much the same, just with the new design. If I wanted to add a page from Library, there's something that's kind of cool that we've added, which is we now show you this check mark for pages that are already on the site. And so if you're going to add pages, this is one of these little details that will help you figure out which pages are added already so you don't duplicate a page somewhere. Kind of a nice little thing. We also show you this icon if a section is hidden. So in my site, I don't have the About Us, Resource Center, blog, or site policies in my main navigation. And so we just have this little hidden from public icon that shows up. And then, of course, if you want to add a section, that's really probably pretty clear. Click on the Add a Section button, and it will take me to the new section process. If I want to edit a section, there's this little Edit Section icon that I can hover over, and that will let me change the name, hide it if I want to, that sort of thing. I think otherwise you'll find it's pretty straightforward. You can access things like your site themes just in the same menu as before. Customizing contact forms works the same way. And you'll see that if you go in and create custom contact forms, I think that the interface works a little more smoothly than it used to. but really kind of follows the same process. So I'll send a link out to this so you can all go in and spend some time playing with it and kind of get familiar before it goes live, which will probably happen next week. So I'll get the link out to you today. You have a couple days to go in and play with it if you want to before it goes live. So we're really excited about that. I think it's a really nice improvement. It's kind of like a remodel to the kitchen. Okay, on to the main show. I want to talk today about adding a document center to your site. And what I mean by this is creating a way for people to go in and download customer support documents, maybe brochures, kinds of things that you would be emailing to a customer or directing them to. So it might be policyholder support stuff, like maybe there's change of beneficiary forms, change of address forms, change of payment forms, things that your customers are going to need to support themselves with products they buy from you. It might even be marketing documents, so maybe you have a presentation or a brochure you want to put on your website so people can go and download it. And what's nice about doing this is it lets you direct people to your website. So rather than sending them an email with a link maybe to a carrier website or with the file directly in the email, which could be large and hard to deliver, you can instead just put a link to this page to your website, send them here. And then, of course, we know that once people come to your website, there's always a good chance they're going to go and maybe look at a few things in your blog or read about what health insurance plans you can offer or just kind of cross-educate themselves, which will jog their thinking about other things they can talk to you about. So this is what it looks like. Now, if you're wondering where you get these documents, of course, you can go to the carriers you work with. We do have a really nice download center on the agent dashboard on YAIM.com. And this lets you go in and filter by state, by carrier, and by product to see all the documents you might need, both on your side, so there's things like underwriting guidelines, applications, sales presentations, and then also customer support stuff. There's things like customer brochures. It's amazing what's here. And so if you're not familiar with this, if you don't have a login to the AIM dashboard, I recommend getting in, checking out the Download Center, because this is where you can really get a lot of content you can use to create this great download center for your customers. Now, here's how you create these. I recommend using a service called Box.com. And Box.com is a place where you go and you upload the files that you want people to have access to. Box.com has a free plan, and their target market is sort of mid to large organizations. And so they've made their free plan big enough so that a small business or an individual agent probably won't ever need more than that, and which is really just a fantastic resource. You can go sign up for free. You get free file storage, and you also get this free download library widget you can embed in your site. So you go to Box.com and create an account for free. Then in Box.com, once you'll log in, you'll go through this process of creating a folder. And so you might create a folder, maybe it's by carrier, or the example I showed. I'll go back up to that here. I have a folder for long-term care files and then a folder for each carrier. So in this case, we're looking at the Genworth page. So you'll create a folder structure of how you want your documents organized. Then you'll upload files. It's really easy to do this. You're just going to select the files you want, upload them to the folder they go in, and then from there you go to the folder and you get the embed code. So in this case, we're looking at LifeWise forms. LifeWise is a health carrier here in Washington State, and when I go to Box.net's website, there's a little thing that says Share, and then there's a little drop-down. And so the way you get the embed code is you go to Share, click on this drop-down, and you go down to Share, and it shows you the different ways you can share this. So you can invite people. You can get a link to send out. You can also embed it into your site, and we're going to select that. So you embed it in your site, and it's going to open up an embed widget. And there's a couple choices here. You can choose the size. Medium seems to work pretty well. You can control how it's viewed, if it's a list or if it's icons. You can show how it's sorted, and there's a couple different themes you could choose from. I think it's silver or blue, and really either works, depends on what's the design of your site. And once you select all of those things, you just click in here to get the embed code and copy it to your clipboard. You're going to use that embed code to go into your site and then paste this onto the page that you want. So the next step is to go to the page that you want this document library to be on. And so you might create a new page under your resources section. You might even create a section called documents and put pages there. And when you open up the page editor, you'll see there's a little option to, I lost my mouse, to insert edit video. And we're using that because video uses the same embed technology as Box.net does. So you click on Insert Edit Video, and then you click on Embed and to open up where you can paste the code in. So you'll paste the code in, you'll click on OK, and you'll save the page. And then from there, it just automatically creates this Box document library right on the page. So you can see this is a page I just went in and created today using those LifeWise forms that I was showing you a second ago. We can even go over, let's jump back out to my site and I can show you what that looks like live on the site. So WeInsureSeattle.com, and I'll go to Resources, and I have this Downloads and Documents page, and you'll see right here is this widget that I've embedded, and if I click on any one of these things, it's going to open up that file for me. So you can see it's really just a nice little way to add some customer support content, add some new resources to your site. So that's how you do these resources. Before I go on to the open forum, are there any questions or thoughts about this? You want me to show anything in more detail? We have the microphones open. So.
Aaron, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, this is Jeff Olson. I did this same thing, and it's really easy to do. Now, my only question to you is I didn't embed it. I actually copied the link and then put it on. Is there a difference between the two?
Well, if you copy the link, as you saw, it will put a link here. Does it link out to your Box.net site instead? Is that how you did it?
I don't really know how it works, but it's similar to this, and I have a place on my site. I mean, we can go there and look if you want, but a place, and then you just push on it, click on it, and it brings a document up.
Tell me your domain name.
Insuranceproducts.biz.
Products.biz.
Yeah, so if you go to any of, Advantage Plans, it doesn't matter, any of the,
Okay.
And then you go over to like, just pick United Healthcare, Oregon there, and then see all these green links there?
Yes.
So if you click on one of those, that'll open up from my box most of the time,
gotcha.
or from the carrier, whatever.
Yeah, so this is another way to do this, and so you're linking directly to the file. It looks like at the carrier in most cases. A couple are at Box, and if my guess is this took some time to set up. It looks great. It looks absolutely great. It was probably a bit of work to create, and so there's absolutely no reason why you wouldn't want to do this. I think what you've done is really nice. The Box.net approach is just probably a little bit easier to get going.
I didn't know she was showing up about an hour from now. How am I supposed to know?
Okay, so I guess my biggest question was when you did the embedded process, what I did was I did the link process. Is there a difference between the two?
There's really
is
not.
Is one better than the other, I guess, is the bottom line?
No,
okay.
One's not better. Both work out really well. And
just on the website,
you can see they look a little bit different. This one has Box.net branding on it, whereas yours is totally clean.
Yeah, and you've got a PDF file to the left there. Yeah. So
right.
I got
so
you.
This shows, some more detail. It has the size of the file, the type of the file, the date
Right.
it was last uploaded, which might be useful. So it's kind of a trade-off. I think yours is a little bit cleaner, it's a little more integrated, probably a little more work. The Box.net approach is really easy to do and gives you some good file information, but you can tell it's an embedded system as opposed to running native on your site.
Perfect. Thank you.
But yeah, Jeff, what you've done here is really nice. Was another question coming in?
We got a couple of questions. Yeah, Bonnie asked if the tech guys would be available to help folks go through this implementation on this.
Yes.
Okay, so you can reach out after the call finishes up, and we'll help you out there. And we'll cover the other thing here in a second. Again, we muted a bunch of folks because we had a bunch of background noise and people were in arguments and such. So if you've got questions, please type them in so that we can keep it moving forward. A couple of things for scheduling purposes going forward. Our July call for Connected Agent User Group will be July 9. Again, always the second Wednesday of the month. That'll be at 9 o'clock Pacific time. As always, this webinar that we're working on right now, this is being recorded. It'll be uploaded and be available on the Connected Agent site within a couple hours this morning. So we'll get it over to Travis. He takes care of that stuff. He'll have it on there for you so you can circle back and review anything that you see this morning that you want to use as a marker or whatever. So handling those two questions, anything else that we've got out there? Otherwise, we're going to try to unmute this one more time and let it be, again, more of an open forum. So hopefully everybody can, if they're not principally involved in the conversation, can hit *6 so as to not drown us out with a lot of background chatter and such. So any other questions out there? Quick shout out to my good friend Meyer Strauss, who's joining us all the way from New York here this morning.
Yeah.
All right. There he is. All right. Any other questions out there from folks this morning? Again, we're going to go July 9 at 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. As always, second Wednesday of the month, 9 o'clock Pacific time. You'll receive the information from the team when we get a little bit closer to that, obviously. And we'll have another fun-filled and action-packed event there. So any other questions on any of the stuff that Aaron brought to you here this morning? Any success stories out there? Let's talk about that a little bit. What are you doing out there that's working, that you're having success with? One of the things we've always wanted to be able to do with this is allow you all to share amongst yourselves about things that are happening. Anybody getting direct contact from potential clients as a result of the awareness of the website, the availability of it, people going to it and finding it?
Mike, can you hear me?
I can. Go ahead.
This is Bonnie. I don't think the website is in the forefront. I think it's in the background because, what I've learned from you guys is I've made a note to myself to look at Google Analytics on Fridays. And I'm noticing that when I remember to, post on something on the blog, or if I remember to do something on Twitter or make a change, add something, the numbers go up. And so I feel like the website is more of a confirmation that people are checking me out, and what I've been doing is I've been doing some marketing where I've been offering people a free, I sent a direct mailing out where I offered people a free book on developing successful retirement. So I'm not getting any direct calls from the website, but the other marketing I'm doing is people are checking me out. I can tell because I can look at the numbers on Google Analytics. So, and a direct result of that marketing, I just wrote a life insurance case last week directly from that marketing that I would have never met the guy any other way. It's just, so I think it's a whole bunch of things coming together to help you be more successful. I don't think it's any one thing.
Aaron?
That makes absolute sense to me. And it really fits in with sort of, I think, what is my philosophy, which is that your website is part of your marketing. It's kind of your home base for people to come and validate that you're a professional. And if they meet with you, if they get an email or a direct mail piece or a phone call, or if somebody refers you to them, they're going to use your website just to kind of check up on you, to make sure that you're professional, that you're trustworthy, that you sell what they need to people like them. And if it's not there, if they don't find your website, they're going to find somebody else's, and it's not going to support that credentialization. But because it is there, you're seeing that happen. That when you do a direct mail campaign, when you do maybe a seminar or an event or something else, you're seeing that people are coming to your website to just kind of learn a bit about you and make sure they should trust you.
Well, you know, what I'm noticing is that on weeks when I've been out of town at a business conference and I don't do anything, and then the weeks that I'm active, I'm putting something on the blog, or I'm sending something out, I'm sending my client newsletter out, something. It's dramatic because Google Analytics goes flat when I'm not doing anything. And then I come back and I add something, I change something, and all of a sudden people are looking at the website because they're checking me out. And so there is a direct relationship to making some kind of change or doing something that involves your website.
Thank you for saying that. You hear that, everybody?
Yes. And it echoes what we've been telling you guys for 6 months.
Yes.
Mike, can you hear me? Am I off mute?
Yeah, no, you're off mute. Go ahead, Jonas.
Yeah, and I have been waiting a long time to hear the testimonial like that too, because it really showcases exactly kind of what Aaron said. Even for like kind of an analogy I've heard him use in the past about, you know, you could be own a gym, but if you never go there, you're not going to see any results. And you guys all have this incredible gym, and you got to use it. And when you do use it, you see it and people notice the results. And I heard you mentioning you were sending out direct mail, and you had some success with a sale on that. Those activities alone could be things that you could be blogging, or the book that you talked about could be something else that you can put on your website. So you keep pinching that in and keep cross-pollinating that marketing. So maybe a next blog could be that you are look in your mailbox, even though it doesn't mean it's going to all those people for your guide on retirement planning or something, because it showcases, again, that you're an expert and you offer a guide in a different format. And then, or you can tell people to come download the guide from your website. You can put it on your website and not only offer it in the direct mail, but start bringing your marketing tighter and tell people what you're doing, where your next seminar is. Maybe get some people to give you some testimonials on your last one and just keep pulling it in. And you'll continue to see, those results happen for you as well.
Very, very true. All right, other questions out there? Think about this when you're considering what the website does and doesn't do for you. Okay, think about how many people know you're in the insurance business versus how many people know you have a website. And if that number isn't somewhere close to at least 50%, more effort on your part needed, okay, because it just is sitting there. It's like literally like having a business card sitting out there. People will bump into a business card that you drop on the street every once in a while, okay? But with an electronic business card, if you're giving them ways to bump into it and you're telling more people about it and asking them to go check out your site like we've had people relate to us before, when that happens, activity additional to that happens. People say, hey, didn't know that you did critical illness insurance. I'd really like to talk to you about that, et cetera. You see what we're saying? You got to continually just broadcast the presence. Get the activity going. As Bonnie said, things will happen. So, all right, other questions out there before we kind of wrap things up? If you got a question, hold your hand up. We'll unmute you since we tried that twice and continue to have all kinds of background noise and such. I'm putting everybody's hand down. If you got a question, hold your hand up. We'll unmute you and get you engaged apologies for not being able to open it up, but we continue to have other issues. So any other questions out there? Okay, well, we're getting the hand-up version of crickets, so I think we did a pretty good job here, folks. We will go ahead and close out today. Again, July 9 a.m. will be the next user group. Everybody will get their invitations and such as we've been doing here recently. With that said, to the team, thanks for your time. Aaron in particular. Yeah, go ahead, Travis.
Well, this is Jeff Olson. I just wanted just a comment. I appreciate Travis and Aaron. I've worked, with them closely. They're always there when I call, and they're always very supportive. They make you feel, they don't make you feel dumb when you don't know some of this stuff. So I do appreciate it. It makes it a lot easier to navigate through some of this stuff. So appreciate it.
Thanks for saying that, Jeff. The simple truth is, folks, the biggest resource you've got within the Connected Agent program is the team. The website is a reflection of the team and their expertise and the help that they provide. It's a reflection that your clients potentially can see, but there's a lot more to it than just the website itself, and there is a crack group of folks here that are available to help you out. So, all right, without any hands up, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Thanks, everybody, for your time. We'll look to hear from any of you with questions or anything that we can help with, as always, as we move forward, and we will reconvene on July 9 at 9 a.m. Pacific. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you all.
All right. Bye now.